Tonight, turning a large amount of farmland into a major data center in Oldham County, but several residents are saying the noise with it will ruin their way of life. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Doug Proffitt. So they are making their own noise now in growing numbers, and for now, the plan is on hold temporarily. WHAS11 team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Levi Hammer show us the land near LaGrange that has fired up even a Republican Kentucky state senator.
These sounds of nature could soon be replaced with the humming of generators in rural Oldham County with a proposed data center. An application for a company called Western Hospitality has been placed to build what's called Project Lincoln on land north of LaGrange, a $6 billion hyperscale data center inside of 267 acres, with buildings estimated at 75 feet tall. The center would fuel technologies like AI, and it's raised the voices of people who live nearby, like Dave Ober.
They call it a data center. It's really an industrial complex.
They're making noise too. The application is in as a personal utility. Residents believe that's a roundabout way of avoiding the zoning of land for agriculture and conservation purposes.
A project like this doesn't offer a whole lot of benefit. It's a loophole in the regulation.
I think it was a good paced attempt to put it somewhere.
The Oldham County Judge Executive David Vogel stood by a change in the location.
I'm not in favor of this location. I've told the owners of that completely, but I'm not willing to say that there isn't some place in Oldham County where a data center would be appropriate.
Representatives are interested in what's going on locally. Republican State Senator Lindsay Titchener went out to a site in Jeffersonville to show her Oldham County district what might be in store.
From my perspective, I'm giving this project 2 thumbs down.
The senator told me she believes this is a wake-up call for localities that don't have these regulations in place.
It opens up not just Oldham County, but other counties in the state to the same type of proposals to take up agricultural land for these industrial facilities. I think it would set a precedence in Oldham County and for the rest of the state that we need to be very cautious of.
A process everyone is closely watching on a development that could potentially affect people's lives and investments. In Oldham County, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 1119, on your side.
Some residents told us that they are open to a data center being placed in other parts of Oldham County. The Judge Executive David Vogel said other places like their office park and industrial property along Commerce Parkway would better suit this very development. New tonight, a woman is dead after a shooting happened in southern Jefferson County just after 4 this afternoon. Metro Police checked out reports of a person down on Newport Road, and that's just off Faganbush Lane. When officers got there, they found a woman who was dead. LMPD says the woman appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound. And also new here tonight, a teenage boy is in critical condition after he was shot in the head in Valley Station of southwest Jefferson County. It happened in an apartment complex on Glen Hill Manor Drive. When officers arrived, they found a boy suffering from a gunshot wound to his head. He was taken to U of L Hospital and is in critical condition tonight. If you know anything about either of these cases, the anonymous tip line is 574-LMPD. Well, a man who was shot and injured by a Metro police officer has now been released from the hospital, and then he went straight to jail, where he's sitting tonight. The officer-involved shooting happened back on April 26th after his daughter called 911, fearful for her safety. LMPD late today released the body camera video of what happened. WHAS 1119's Alex Dieter shares more of what led up to the shots being fired.
Let's go 3, shots fired.
The night of April 26th.
Where's your emergency?
Officers responded to reports of an intoxicated, argumentative man identified as Daniel Gish on Lincoln Avenue in the Camp Taylor neighborhood.
So my dad started banging on the door. Him and my mom were having an argument.
Gish allegedly grabbed a gun from the home during an argument with his wife and shot the floor. Gunshots can be heard on the 911 call made by Gish's daughter.
Did he just shoot someone, ma'am?
The daughter, her mother, and her mother's friend taking cover inside the home, waiting for police to arrive.
We are in the bedroom. We are in my room.
When officers were on scene, Gish was in the driveway holding a gun to his head.
What's going on, man? Talk to me!
On LMPD Sergeant Chris Pedigo's body-worn camera footage, you can hear officers pleading with him to drop the gun.
Do me a favor. Drop it for me, man. No! Drop it for me, man. No! Please!
He was visibly distraught during this engagement. and others were still hiding inside of the house.
Pedigo led that charge, getting Gish's wife and her friend out.
What's going on? I want everyone out of this house now. Come on. Okay, it's okay. Go that way. Go that way.
Pedigo then entered the house to get the daughter to safety. Gish then re-entered the house armed with a gun. Pedigo told him to drop the gun. When Gish refused, Pedigo shot him once in the wrist, knocking the gun out of his hand.
Radio to 629. They want to know if self-inflicted.
No, ma'am. It's not me.
LMPD Deputy Chief Emily McKinley commending Pedigo for his swift action.
All of our officers are certified and are trained in CIT response and crisis response, and so they are trained to try to de-escalate that situation. But they're also trained to react very quickly if they need to take a hands-on approach or take a different route if it turns a different way, and that's exactly what you saw here.
Gish was taken to U of L Hospital and was released Tuesday. He's in custody at Metro Corrections, charged with wanton endangerment of a police officer in the first degree. In Louisville, Alex Dieterwer, the WHAS11 night team on your side.
Sergeant Pedigo, the officer who fired the shot, is on paid administrative leave, and that is per LMPD's normal policy.
I'm very excited. Had a chance to visit schools today, and I'm going to tell you, became even more excited with what I saw. This is a phenomenal place.
Right now, all new on the night team, this is the public interview given in Delaware nearly a month ago by one of the top two finalists now for the JCPS superintendent job. Brian Yearwood, you see right there to the right, is sitting at a community forum in Delaware. Yearwood was a finalist for the position at the Christina School District in Delaware, but he did not get the job. Well, now he's back as one of the two men to replace Marty Polio in Louisville when he retires. Brian Yearwood is a finalist alongside Ben Schuldenier, and reaction to the two men is already coming in here locally. But some are choosing to reserve their judgment until the candidates meet the community in 2 weeks.
When I look at both of them, and you're talking about turning, some of the issues that the district's facing. I mean, from both candidates had a track record of improving attendance, literacy scores.
I would love that we could choose someone that's a top choice as opposed to a second or third choice that hasn't made the cut in other districts. That obviously is going to be a concern.
Republican lawmakers like Lindsay Tishner, you just heard there, say if this pick does not yield academic improvements for JCPS, they are looking to take some kind of action on a state level of control of JCPS. Meantime, WHAS11 education expert Sam Corbett, a former JCPS school board member, has been looking over the two picks. Corbett pointing out tonight that Ben Schuldenier is a current superintendent, but Yearwood held the position in Columbia, Missouri for only 3 years and left with a $667,000 payout from the school district.
I think he had like 2 to 2.5 years left. And nobody knows, at least publicly, they haven't been talking about what happened, why did he leave. He said he wanted to spend more time with his family. He was going to go from Missouri back to Texas, where he was from. But interestingly enough, in less than 2 months, he was a finalist for a position in Kansas. He didn't get that job. He then was a finalist for a position in Delaware. He didn't get that job, and now he's a finalist at JCPS.
Well, you're going to meet the candidates. You've got your chance very soon to meet these two men. Their final interviews in Louisville are set for May 20th, and there are public sessions set up. You're invited to 2 sessions. The first one's going to be held from 4 to 6 p.m. at the JCPS Center for Professional Learning at 3902 Atkinson Square. The evening session that same day is from 7 to 9 p.m. at Stouffer Elementary School. That's in eastern Jefferson County. Again, all of those meetings will be on May 20th. Indiana is opting out of a federal program to feed hungry children during the summertime. Sunbucks provides $120 per child per month to the families of kids who qualify for food benefits and reduced price school meals. Last year, more than 650,000 children in Indiana were enrolled in the program. Indiana officials say the necessary groundwork to launch the program this summer had not been completed. And they went on to say in a statement, while we work toward long-term solutions, students in low-income areas across the state can still get access to free summer meals at approximately 1,000 locations, including schools and community organizations, through the USDA's Summer Food Service Program.